All right, ladies, let me ask you something real quick. How many videos have you watched about spotting red flags, dodging emotionally unavailable men, and protecting yourself from charmers, users, and smooth talking manipulators? And yes, that stuff matters. Of course it does. But today, I want to turn the whole conversation around because almost nobody stops to ask the other question, the one that can change your whole love life. How do you know when you have found a man who is actually worth keeping? I see so many women become laser focused on avoiding the wrong man, and I get it. Nobody wants heartbreak, mixed signals, betrayal, or another exhausting lesson. But when all your energy goes into defense, you can miss the very person who came to love you right, show up for you, and build something honest, steady, and real. The truth is, some women do not lose good men because the men were fake. They lose them because they did not recognize what healthy love looked like when it was standing right in front of them. So, whether you are single, getting to know someone, dating seriously, or already in a relationship, this message is for you. No matter what stage you are in, you need to know what to look for so you do not push away the man who actually understands love, commitment, and emotional depth. My name is Ismael Gomez. I am a coach, a writer, and a speaker. And today I am going to walk you through 7 powerful signs that tell you a man is the real thing. Not just good with words, not just attractive, not just exciting for the moment, but truly worth your heart. So let us get into it. Number 1. He gives you what he barely has. When a man gives you his time while he is drained, his attention while his mind is packed with stress, his patience while he is frustrated, and his honesty while he still feels unsure, pay attention. That means something. He is not giving you leftovers. He is not giving you what is easy. He is giving you effort. He is digging into places that cost him something. And that is exactly why it matters. A man who likes you casually may give when it is convenient. A man who values you deeply gives even when it would be easier not to. He makes room for you inside a life that may already feel heavy. He checks in when he is tired. He listens when his head is loud. He opens up when staying silent would feel safer. That is not random. That is investment. So do not just look at what he gives. Look at what it takes for him to give it. Because real love is not always flashy. It is not always giant speeches, giant roses, or intense attention that burns bright and then disappears. Sometimes real love is quiet. Sometimes it looks like sacrifice. Sometimes it sounds like, I am exhausted, but I still want to hear about your day. Sometimes it feels like a man choosing your peace over his comfort. That is the kind of love too many people miss because it does not come wearing fireworks. But you will feel it. Deep down, you will know when a man is not just interested in having access to you, but is emotionally putting skin in the game for a future with you. Number 2, affection never becomes a bargaining chip. A relationship can go through stress, conflict, misunderstandings, mood swings, money pressure, family drama, and painful seasons. Life can get messy. Love can get tested. But if affection disappears every time there is tension, or if it only shows up when you are acting the way he wants, that is not love. That is control dressed up in romance. Real affection is not a reward for good behavior. It is not a weapon. It is not something a mature man withholds to punish you, confuse you, or force you to chase him harder. Real affection stays human, warm, and steady, even when the moment is rough. That does not mean every fight is soft and sweet. Of course not. Couples can argue. They can need space. They can feel hurt. But underneath it all, there is still care. There is still warmth. There is still a quiet message that says, we are having a hard moment, but I am not taking my love off the table. That matters. In a healthy bond, affection does not vanish because of one disagreement. It does not suddenly become cold because somebody is upset. It remains part of the foundation. My partner and I have had real arguments, real hard talks, real uncomfortable moments. But love itself was never the hostage. We did not use affection like a lock and key game. We did not make each other beg for softness. We protected that softness, especially in the ugly moments. That is what secure love does. It says, we can face the mess without making each other starve for care. So if a man can stay loving without turning affection into leverage, That is a huge green flag. Number 3, he can enjoy the plain, quiet moments with you. If everything between you and him is built only on chemistry, heat, constant excitement, physical closeness, thrill, and stimulation, then slow down and look closer. Because sometimes what feels intense is not actually connection. Sometimes it is just appetite. Sometimes he is feeding off the rush, not building a bond. A man who truly likes you will not need nonstop fireworks to stay engaged. He will enjoy your company even when nothing dramatic is happening. He can sit beside you in silence and still feel full. He can walk with you with no plan. He can laugh over something small. He can stay on the phone without needing the conversation to turn seductive every 5 minutes. He can share space with you without always trying to squeeze a thrill out of the moment. Ask yourself something simple. Can this man enjoy the ordinary with me? Can he sit on the grass and watch the sky change color? Can he eat takeout with me in the car and still act like he is exactly where he wants to be? Can he stay present without needing noise, sex, chaos, or stimulation to hold his attention? Because that tells you a lot. A man who can slow down with you is not just chasing dopamine. He is drawn to your presence. He likes being with you, not just consuming what the moment gives him. Presence is one of the most honest forms of love. It reveals where his heart is. If he can enjoy the calm with you, then his attraction is not only physical, it is emotional. It is rooted. It is deeper than the rush. He is not just spending time, he is choosing where to place it. And when a man places his time into you with intention, that is powerful. Number 4, he does not freeze when life gets hard. When trouble shows up, your car breaks down, your plans collapse, your emotions spill over, or the relationship hits tension, what does he do? Does he shrug, offer empty words, and disappear into the background? Or does he move? Does he lean in? Does he try? A man who is serious about you does not go still every time life gets inconvenient. He does not fold the second things get messy. He may not have perfect answers. He may not fix everything in 1 second, but he brings effort. He brings initiative. He shows you that when something matters, he is willing to step toward it instead of away from it. That matters more than people realize. A lot of men know how to show up when things are sexy, easy, fun, and smooth. But stress is where character gets exposed. Hard moments reveal who is ready to build and who only came to enjoy the shiny parts. A man who cares will try to help solve what hurts. If something physical needs handling, he steps in. If something emotional needs repair, he stays in the room. If distance grows, he does not just let it rot. He reaches, he asks, he works. He shows you through action that he does not want you carrying every burden by yourself. That kind of energy is gold, because life will test every relationship. There will be breakdowns, bad days, losses, fear, sickness, conflict, and pressure. And when those days come, you do not want a man who vanishes into excuses. You want a man who brings his chest, his heart, and his hands to the problem. My uncle taught me that. In my 20s, I did not always know how to show up well. I made mistakes. I was not always present in the ways I should have been. But now, with my partner, when she has an issue, I actually love stepping in for her. If her car breaks down, I am not annoyed that I have to help. I am excited that I get to be there. I get to say, "Baby, I have you. Where do you need to go?" Then we drive, we talk, we play music, we turn a frustrating moment into a memory. So if a man genuinely enjoys being there for you when life is inconvenient, do not dismiss that. That man is rare. Number 5, he does not leave your mind spinning in circles. This might sound simple, but one of the sexiest green flags in a man is clarity. You ask him a question and he answers it. Plainly, calmly, honestly. No smoke, no slippery language, no little performance to dodge the point. No vague mess that leaves you rereading texts with your friends at midnight trying to decode what he really meant. If you want to know where he stands, he tells you. If you feel weird about a conversation from last week, he is open to talking about it again. If you ask where the relationship is going, he does not disappear, deflect, or act offended that you brought it up. He communicates like a grown man who has nothing shady to hide. That kind of clarity creates emotional safety, and emotional safety is seductive in the deepest way. Why? Because confusion is exhausting. Guessing is exhausting. Being forced to read between the lines all the time will wear down your spirit. But when a man is honest, his words and actions line up. He does not need to rehearse stories, remember lies, or patch holes in his behavior. The truth is easy to carry because it stays the same. And your body feels that. Your nervous system feels that. You are not always bracing for a surprise. You are not constantly trying to figure out what version of him you are getting today. You can relax. You can trust. You can breathe. And love needs that kind of ground to grow. So if a man gives you clarity instead of chaos, hold that close. That is not boring. That is a blessing. Number 6, he truly values what you think. When a man respects your mind, not just your face, not just your body, not just the way you make him feel, but your actual thoughts, that is a major sign of respect. If he asks what you think about a big decision, listens to your view about a problem, wants your take on something that matters to him, or even checks what shirt looks best before he walks out the door, it shows that your voice has weight in his world. He does not just see you as decoration. He sees you as someone with insight. That is beautiful. But let me give you an important warning here. Not every man who asks for your advice actually honors your input. Some men dump their emotions on women the way people dump trash, and they call it vulnerability. They vent, complain, spiral, and unload, but they are not seeking wisdom. They are just using you as a place to empty themselves without changing anything. That is not the same thing as valuing your opinion. You are not his unpaid therapist. You are not there to carry every storm inside his head while he does nothing with the support you give. A healthy man does not just ask for your input. He respects it. He considers it. He lets it matter. And even if he chooses differently, you can feel that he genuinely heard you. That is the difference. When a man values your mind, he creates partnership. He shows that love is not about one person dominating and the other one adjusting. It becomes shared. It becomes mutual. It becomes a relationship where your thoughts are not tolerated. They are treasured. Number 7, he protects you when you are at your most exposed. When a man deeply loves you, your vulnerable moments wake something up in him. When you are sick, scared, overwhelmed, pregnant, grieving, unsafe, or dealing with something heavy, he does not act irritated by your need. He does not pull away because the moment is not fun. He steps closer. He wants to cover you. He wants to help. He wants to make sure you are okay. That does not mean he thinks you are weak. It means he feels responsible for your well-being because you matter to him. Love is easy when life feels sexy, easy, playful, and light. Anybody can act sweet when the weather is perfect and the mood is good. But love shows its true face in the hard chapters. It shows up when you are tired, hurting, and not at your best. That is where a partner reveals what is really inside him. Think back to 2020, when the world shut down and fear was everywhere. So many relationships cracked under pressure. But I also saw men in my own family take care of their wives with fierce devotion, even when people were terrified of getting sick. Those men cooked, cleaned, stayed close, ran errands, brought medicine, and risked their own comfort to make sure their women were safe. That is love with backbone. On the other side, one of the saddest things I have seen as a coach is working with pregnant women whose partners neglect them, betray them, cheat on them, or emotionally disappear right when those women need them most. It is heartbreaking. Pregnancy is one of the most tender, vulnerable, and demanding seasons in a relationship. A woman needs support, protection, reassurance, patience, and care. So if a man cannot rise in moments like that, then he is showing you something serious. Believe it. This is why I always say, choose wisely, especially if you hope to build a family with this man one day. All right, ladies, that is the message for today. And if you are still here with me, that tells me something important. It tells me you are serious about changing your love life. A lot of women click on videos like this, watch for 3 minutes, hear one point, and then drift off, only to keep repeating the same patterns with the same kind of men. But not you. You stayed. You listened. You gave yourself this time. And that means you are already doing something different. So let me tell you this. I am hosting a free live masterclass next Sunday, and I am going to teach you how to attract a loyal, emotionally available man without chasing, begging, shrinking, or lowering your standards. If you are tired of the madness of modern dating, tired of wasting your softness on the wrong man, tired of confusing attention with commitment, tired of giving your heart to men who only know how to consume but not build, then this is for you. I am going to break down how to stop picking emotionally messy men, how to spot high-quality men faster, how to inspire deeper investment, and how to move through dating with more confidence, more wisdom, and more power. So if you want in, comment the word masterclass below and I will send you the link to join me. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for being here. And remember this one truth before you go. If you want your relationships to change, you have to change the way you choose, the way you see, and the way you respond. That is where everything begins. And let me give you one more truth before you leave, because this part is spicy and a lot of people need to hear it. A good man is not always the loudest man in the room. He is not always the smoothest talker, the flashiest dresser, the most seductive texter, or the one who gives you the biggest emotional high in the shortest amount of time. Sometimes the man worth keeping feels almost unfamiliar at first, because peace can seem boring to a heart that got used to chaos. Stability can feel strange when your past trained you to confuse anxiety with chemistry. Consistency can seem less exciting when you have spent years getting hooked on mixed signals, late-night crumbs, hot and cold behavior, and half-love dressed up like passion. So be careful. Do not let your old wounds make you blind to healthy love. Do not reject the man who is steady just because he is not making your nervous system do cartwheels every day. Sometimes the butterflies are not a sign of destiny. Sometimes they are a sign that your body remembers danger. And sometimes the man who feels calm is the very man who can finally love you well. That is why discernment matters. You have to learn the difference between sparks that burn you and warmth that keeps you safe. You have to learn the difference between a man who excites your fantasy and a man who can actually carry real life with you. Anybody can look good in a fun season. Anybody can flirt, chase, seduce, and say all the right things when there is no pressure. But can he stay kind when you are hard to love? Can he stay honest when lying would be easier? Can he stay present when life is dull, repetitive, and inconvenient? Can he keep choosing you when the moment is not sexy, not polished, and not easy to post online? That is the real test. The woman who wins in love is not always the prettiest woman, the youngest woman, or the woman with the most options. A lot of times, it is the woman who learns how to recognize substance. It is the woman who stops being hypnotized by surface. It is the woman who says, I do not just want intensity, I want integrity. I do not just want attraction, I want alignment. I do not just want someone who desires me. I want someone who can handle me with care. And yes, that takes maturity. It takes healing. It takes self-respect. It takes enough honesty to admit that maybe some of the men you called exciting were actually just emotionally dangerous. Maybe some of the men you called mysterious were simply unavailable. Maybe some of the men you fought the hardest to keep were never truly showing up in the first place. That is a bitter pill, but it can set you free. Because once you stop romanticizing struggle, you stop handing your heart to people who only know how to wound it. Once you stop glorifying confusion, you make room for clarity. Once you stop chasing the spark of dysfunction, you become available for a deeper kind of fire, the kind that warms a home instead of burning it down. So listen to me carefully. If a man is kind, clear, present, affectionate, solution-minded, respectful of your thoughts, and protective when you are vulnerable, do not play games with that. Do not test him just to see if he will stay. Do not punish him for what another man did. Do not keep one foot out the door while asking him to prove he is safe. Let a good man be good to you. Meet healthy love with healthy behavior. That means you also have to be honest, soft where it is wise, clear in your communication, responsible for your healing, and willing to receive what you say you want. Because a lot of women pray for a good man, then panic when he actually arrives. They do not know how to trust peace. They do not know how to relax into consistency. They do not know how to stop performing toughness long enough to be loved well. So if this message hits you in the chest, do not just clap for it. Use it. Think about the men you have entertained. Think about the behavior you have excused. Think about the good qualities you may have overlooked because they came in a quiet package instead of a flashy one. Real love is not always noisy. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it shows up on time. Sometimes it checks in. Sometimes it remembers what hurts you. Sometimes it brings soup, fixes the tire, answers the question, and stays through the hard conversation. It may not look dramatic, but baby, it is deep. And deep love will change your life far more than shallow sparks ever will. And never forget, the right man will not make you beg for basics, chase crumbs, or audition for decency. He will make love feel cleaner, safer, and stronger. He will not drain your sparkle just to feel powerful. He will guard it, feed it, and celebrate it. That is not fantasy. That is grown love. And once you taste that, cheap games lose all their flavor. Stay sharp. Choose well. All right, have a beautiful day.